CL, Caseous Lymphadenitis, right? Those bumps on sheep and or goats, right? And that's what it looks like. It has that characteristic onion. Those abscesses, you cut them out, they have that characteristic onion shape, layers, right? It's caused by a bacteria, very cheesy and yucky. Corynebacterium pseudotuberculosis, sheep and goats, it is zoonotic. So these people who love, again, when I was in school, boy, we used to go around and cut every abscess and squeeze it out. Ugh, no, don't do that. I don't do that at all, right? I try and treat the abscess. No, I don't. Yes. I would either try and treat the abscess with some antibiotics, and if it resolves, great. If it doesn't, my option would be, if you're squeezing out an abscess, please put on your gloves first too, and squeeze it into a bag, right? Flush it out and squeeze everything into the bag and then burn it, right? Do not, this thing about where you used to just bust an abscess and squeeze, no, 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 no. All you're doing, remember that abscess is pus with whatever is in it, and if you squeeze it all over the place, you're spreading everything all over the place. Yes, sir?
And if you consume the meat with abscess on it also?
Well, yes, it's zoonotic. But actually, I was doing a little research on it. The Corynebacterium, you see people who have milk in goats? Yeah. It can come into the milk also. Zoonotic means it has the potential, and there are different levels. I would say almost, I'm not an epidemiologist, but there are different levels of what your zoonotic is, and I will get into that, right? But I just know that it is, okay? So remember, it spreads easily. So you see what you say happened there? Yeah. There's no way you can control it anymore there. I'm going to tell you that. Forget it. That horse has gone through the gate already, right? Because basically you're saying it is spread all over. Right. And it is difficult to control. Reason is Corynebacterium is one of those. You see how it, just look on it. You see how it encases itself? That's why antibiotics normally do not work. I remember I said to you, for you to treat it, you have to touch it. There's no antibiotic that can get inside of that abscess. And that is why it's hard to control. So really, if you have the animals, you need to make a decision to cull. And you see, you don't realize the long-lasting impact or something like that. You think on it. I sell you a goat that have some abscess, let's say. And remember with CL, it actually has internal abscesses also that you don't see, right? So I sell you the goat and say, don't worry about the abscess, man, go on and slaughter it. You slaughter it. It have abscess internally. You may not see some of them in the meat or in the kidney, and you cook it. And then you see the abscess. What's going to happen? You will never buy from me again. So what do I benefit from that? You follow what I'm saying? We have to think bigger than this. And certain people's perception on why they don't eat certain meats is because of some of the things we did in the past. Right. So we need to stop it and just do safe food, farm to fork approach, the right things. That's just me. The treatment is antibiotics, right? If the abscesses are very big about to rupture, then I prefer you cut them and drain them yourself, like you say, into a bag. And then they rupture and spread everywhere, right? The other option too, you can, if they're small enough, use antibiotics. The Oxyvet seems to work, oxytetracyclines, the other ones like telithromycin that work. And there's a new, well, it's not new, but there's a guy called Pugh, Dr. Pugh, and he ran some experiments where he actually took formalin. Now remember, we just spoke about the same thing about what you're going to eat, right? And he did it for dairy goat herds, because we're not going to eat the dairy goats so quickly. It's more for milking purpose. And what he did is he actually injected the abscess with formalin and telithromycin, and the abscess is resolved, okay? But of course, you will not be able to consume that animal for quite some time.
What about the milk? Will not affect the milk?
No, there's a withdrawal for the milk and everything too, yeah. But he was looking at dairy type animals. So there are other options, you could read up on it. But prevention is really the best. So I'm saying to you, if you're going into a herd to buy an animal and you walk in there and you see everybody have an abscess, I suggest you turn around and walk back out. Because you can't. The only way you can prevent is not bringing it on your farm.
No, I mean generally, so prevention is the best.
Right, so don't bring the animal on your farm. If you see people with abscess, and sometimes you can't know, you know. You may not see it. But then if you do see it, maybe you need to cull that animal, take it out of your herd and cull. But that's a choice, a financial decision too, eh? Yeah. So position of the lesions, right? If you tend to see lesions on these spots here where the lymph nodes are located, and again, they always have this kind of cluster look. You know, where you see 1 or 2 bumps in a row like that, or that nice big abscess. I would not say to you that every abscess you see is that. If you want to purchase animals, maybe and you think you're not too sure, ask your vet to come in, or if you're a vet, culture it yourself and see. If it comes out negative for it, then okay, fine. It's just an abscess. But normally, if you come into a herd, where you see lots of them with abscesses, it is CL, because it's very infectious. That stuff is awful stuff. Okay?